On the morning of January 15, 1947, a young mother was walking through a quiet neighborhood in Los Angeles with her daughter. The air was cold, the street was empty, and then she saw something in the grass. At first, she thought it was a store mannequin, pale, still, perfectly positioned. But mannequins don't have eyes. What she discovered that morning would shock the entire nation and remain unsolved for over 75 years. This is the story of Elizabeth Short, the woman the world would come to know as the Black Dahlia. Stay with me, because this case goes deeper than any headline ever told you. Before she became a mystery, Elizabeth Short was simply a girl with a dream. Born on July 29, 1924, in Hyde Park, Massachusetts, Elizabeth was the third of 5 daughters. Her father, Cleo Short, disappeared when she was just 6 years old, leaving the family behind after faking his own suicide. Her mother, Phoebe, raised the 5 girls alone. It was not an easy life. As a child, Elizabeth suffered from severe asthma. Doctors advised her to spend winters in warmer climates. So from a young age, she traveled to Florida, to California, always searching for something better. She was, by all accounts, strikingly beautiful. Dark hair, blue eyes, pale skin. She loved old Hollywood films and dreamed of becoming an actress. By her early 20s, she had made her way to Los Angeles, the city of dreams. She waitressed, she tried to get acting jobs, she moved from place to place, staying with friends, with acquaintances, sometimes with men she barely knew. She wasn't wealthy, she wasn't famous, she was just a young woman trying to survive in a city that ate people alive. Her friends described her as sweet, gentle, and quietly sad. She wore black often, which later gave the press their nickname for her. But nothing in Elizabeth Short's quiet, struggling life could have prepared her for what was coming. January 15th, 1947, Leimert Park, Los Angeles. Betty Berzinger was walking with her 3-year-old daughter along Norton Avenue when she noticed something in an empty lot. At first, she kept walking. Los Angeles in the 1940s was full of strange sights. But something made her stop and look closer. What she saw made her run to the nearest house and call the police. The body of a young woman lay in the grass. She was completely nude, posed on her back. Her arms raised above her head at perfect right angles, like a display. Her legs were spread apart. But the most horrifying detail, the detail that would haunt every detective who arrived on the scene, was this. The body had been completely severed at the waist, cut clean in half, and then carefully, deliberately placed in a lot, drained entirely of blood, with the 2 halves separated by about a foot. There were rope marks on her wrists and ankles, deep lacerations across her face from the corners of her mouth to her ears, a cut known as a Glasgow smile. Her skin had been meticulously washed. The body showed signs of having been kept somewhere for days before being placed here. This was not a crime of passion. This was surgical, calculated, patient. Whoever did this knew exactly what they were doing. Police identified her through fingerprints within hours. Elizabeth Short, 22 years old. The city of Los Angeles would never be the same. The Los Angeles Police Department launched what would become one of the largest investigations in California history. Within days, the case exploded in the press. Reporters from every major newspaper competed for the goriest details. It was the tabloid press that named her the Black Dahlia, a play on the film The Blue Dahlia that had recently been in theaters, combined with Elizabeth's habit of wearing black. tips flooded the police department, hundreds of them, thousands. And then something extraordinary happened. A man called the Los Angeles Examiner newspaper, not the police. The man claimed to be the killer. He was taunting them. Days later, a package arrived at the newspaper office. Inside were Elizabeth's birth certificate, her address book, and some of her personal photographs, her social security card, and a note cut from newspaper letters that read, "Here is Dahlia's belongings. Letter to follow." The package had been soaked in gasoline to destroy fingerprints. The killer was careful, methodical. The letter that followed mocked the police, called them incompetent, dared them to catch him. But they never did. The LAPD questioned over 150 suspects. Some confessed, but their confessions fell apart under questioning. Many were clearly disturbed individuals seeking attention. One name, however, kept coming up again and again.
Over the decades, investigators, journalists, and amateur detectives have pointed fingers at dozens of people, but 3 suspects stand above the rest. Suspect number 1, Dr. George Hodel. In 2003, retired LAPD homicide detective Steve Hodel published a book that shook the true crime world. He claimed his own father, Dr. George Hodel, was the Black Dahlia killer. Dr. George Hodel was a brilliant, respected physician in Los Angeles. He moved in elite circles. He knew artists, intellectuals, and politicians. But beneath that surface was something dark. Steve Hodel discovered that his father had been a suspect in the original investigation. LAPD had actually planted microphones in Hodel's home, and in the recordings, a voice, believed to be George Hodel, said these chilling words. "Supposin' I did kill the Black Dahlia, they couldn't prove it now." Dr. George Hodel fled to Asia shortly after the investigation intensified. He never returned to live in the United States. He died in 1999, 4 years before his own son would name him as the killer. Suspect number 2, Walter Bailey. Journalist Mary Pacios, a childhood friend of Elizabeth Short, spent years investigating the case. Her research pointed to Walter Bailey, a surgeon who lived just 1 block from where the body was found. Bailey had the surgical skills to have made the cuts on Elizabeth's body with such precision. His marriage was falling apart. His daughter later described him as mentally unstable in his final years. He died in 1948, just 1 year after the murder, and he never spoke about the case. Suspect number 3, Jack Anderson Wilson. In 1991, LAPD detective John Gilmore received a tip about a drifter named Jack Anderson Wilson, a violent criminal with a history of attacks on women. Wilson matched descriptions given by witnesses who had seen Elizabeth Short in the days before her death. Before detectives could bring him in for questioning, Wilson died in a hotel fire in 1982. His secrets burned with him. The case grew cold. The suspects died. The evidence faded.
75 years later, the Black Dahlia case remains officially unsolved, but the questions it leaves behind are more disturbing than any answer. Question 1. Where was Elizabeth killed? Her body was completely drained of blood. This means she was held somewhere, a home, a facility, a garage, for days, a place with plumbing, a place where someone could work without being heard. Who had access to such a place in that Los Angeles neighborhood in 1947? Question 2. Who had surgical knowledge? The cuts on Elizabeth's body were clean, precise. Medical examiners noted that whoever made the incisions understood human anatomy at a professional level. This narrows the suspect pool dramatically. We are not looking for an ordinary criminal. Question 3. Why was she posed? The body was not hidden, it was displayed. The killer wanted her to be found exactly as she was. This was a message, but to whom? Some investigators believe Elizabeth Short knew her killer personally, that this was an act of rage, of obsession, not random violence. Question 4. The package. The killer sent Elizabeth's belongings to a newspaper, not the police. He wanted publicity. He was performing. This psychological profile, the desire for attention, the taunting of authorities, is rare, and it was captured in 1947, decades before modern criminal profiling existed. Who was this man, and how many others did he hurt? The Black Dahlia case changed American crime investigation forever. It was one of the first cases where media coverage both helped and severely damaged a police investigation. Thousands of false tips, dozens of false confessions, a press that cared more about selling papers than finding justice. Sound familiar? In many ways, the Black Dahlia murder was the blueprint for the modern true crime obsession. It had everything: beauty, mystery, brutality, and a monster who was never caught. Elizabeth Short came to Hollywood looking for a dream. She never made it to a single screen test. Instead, her name was plastered across every newspaper in America, not for something she did, but for what was done to her. She was someone's daughter, someone's friend, a young woman who liked old movies and wore black dresses and dreamed of something better. She deserved better than this, and she deserved an answer.
The Black Dahlia case has never been officially solved. The LAPD still has an active file on it. If you believe you have information, even a fragment, the Los Angeles Police Department Cold Case Unit is still accepting tips. As for the rest of us, we remember Elizabeth Short, not as a headline, not as a mystery, but as a person. If this story moved you, hit subscribe, because next week we're diving into one of the most audacious crimes in American history. A man who hijacked a plane, demanded $200,000 in ransom, then jumped from 10,000 feet and was never seen again. D.B. Cooper is next.